It's back to the Grand Prix circuit at Kyalami for the final two rounds, 19 and 20 of the National Superbike Championship this year. It's a hot day here with the track temperature up to nearly 39 degrees Celsius. Normally makes lap times a bit slower. Championship leader, there he is, Russell Wood, can't afford to take it easy in practice or the race, as there was controversy about the tyres he used at that meeting at Killarney, which could lose him all the points he earned there. Quickest in practice, Stuart McLeod, using a brand new set of Dunlop tyres. So Stuart, last round of the year, and you've got pole position for the first time.
Yeah, Rog, we've been working really hard since the last Kyalami. We got the new Dunlop GP Stars, which are working very, very well. And a little bit of work to the motor and the bike and getting everything a lot better than last time.
It's made a difference because you're under the lap record as well, of course. The international lap record.
Yeah, Rog, just everything came together. I was just smooth out there and I just said to myself, just go be smooth, and came right.
And as far as the championship goes, how are you going to play it?
Well, I just got to finish ahead of Robbie and then I get second in championship.
And second place man on the grid is Greg Gray on the auto-page cellular Honda. Stuart McLeod, incredibly, has lap 0.2 of a second under the international lap record for Supersport machine. Greg Dreyer is in second position. Robbie Peterson then from second to seventh is covered by just 1 second. The work has been done by the mechanics so they clear the grid. Now it's up to the riders as we go for a 10-lapper. There's 19 riders on the starting grid, and stand by for South Africa's best motor racing action coming up, bar none. The lights go off. Robbie Peterson down the centre of the road, number 16, the Eric Q Honda, gets a rocket of a start as he goes down to pencil, and he's our cameraman today. Goes down to the left-hander, right on his tail, number 6 is Stuart McLeod, the pole man. Third position, the auto-page cellular Honda of Greg Dreyer, number 2, and behind him Russell Wood. The action has started, 42 Ks of action ahead of us. Robbie Peterson, Stuart McLeod, Greg Dreyer, Russell Wood. Then it's Sean White in 5th position, being followed by Trevor Crooks right in there. Down to the Winfield S as they go. Look at this formation flying. Wonderful stuff there. The sound of those bikes howling along at 15,000 RPM and starting to climb up the hill onto the West Bank shelf. Here they come. Robbie Peterson is going to defend his line. Stuart McLeod's going for it. He goes on the inside. Peterson opens up the door. McLeod goes to the front, and here it is. You're behind Stuart McLeod in that Aztec Suzuki, and listen to those bikes rev. Here's the ride of your life down the Caltex mine shaft into the Haviland strip, absolutely flat out. Just trail the throttle as they start to line up for their brake marks. Here they come. Robbie Peterson now's got number 2 on his tail, and that's Greg Dreyer. That's his favourite place to go passing. Here he comes. We've had passing and repassing. We're on the first lap. Greg Dreyer's alongside him. Is he going to slow down as he goes into the Yokohama King? Robbie Peterson's got lots of time to sort them all out. And in the front there we've got Stuart McLeod, an extremely fast Aztec Suzuki, brand new GP Star tyres, those Dunlop tyres that has been flown in from England for him. Power it out. It's big powers. They come out of the Stetner corner and head down for the start-finish the line as they come down. Bad bumpers they come across here. There it is. As the tar colour changes, they go down into Penzol. It upsets the suspension. You've got to really having it run so straight as you go down through these corners. 14 is Bo Levy, 99 is Alex Leonard. Just behind him, fighting all the way down the field. There's that other bump that, as they cranked over there, right on their knees there, you hit that other little bump in the middle of the road as they come to National Corner. And as this race progresses, the leading bunch is 3 riders now. Russell Wood falling back a wee bit as that other pack starts to close on him. It's Stuart McLeod, and Greg Dreyer starting to close on him. Greg Dreyer, number 2, that auto-page cellular Honda, this is his favourite place to go passing, is up at West Bank Shelf. He does it at Vodacom so well as well. And Robbie Peterson in 3rd position there. His favourite place is down at Stetner Corner. Russell Wood does so well, passing all the riders down at Goodyear Corner. Here it is again. 15,500 RPM, absolutely flat out. Dreyer's ahead on the auto-page cellular Honda. Here they come, they use all the road onto the brakes. Dreyer's going to go for it on the inside. This is one of his best places. He runs into the back of Stuart McLeod's knee. Gee, this is rough racing. And Robbie Peterson says thanks very much. Here it is again from Robbie Peterson's bike. Dreyer goes for it. There was a gap, but there was a knee in his way. He goes into the back of the leg of Stuart McLeod. Robbie Peterson now in 2nd position. Here they're going for Goodyear Corner. Robbie Peterson's going to try on the inside to go for the lead. No, he can't do it there. His best place is at the Stetner. Normally on the last lap, the last corner, he sneaks up on them. Here he is on the S's alongside Stuart McLeod in that Suzuki. He just sweeps across his bow. Down these S, you can see it goes downhill and then starts to sweep through a right-hander and climb up. They just rocket up that hill onto the West Bank shelf. Spreading out, they feather out there as they come into the corner. Greg Dreyer is very good coming in here. They're all late braking at the moment. Peterson's going to try and tighten his line. We've got a Suzuki leading on. Oh, and a big stand up there for Greg Dreyer. That's enough to put any man's heart in his mouth. He's got to settle down quickly. Here comes Peterson. Is he going to be able to do it now? They know they're coming in. The Stuart McLeod knows they're coming in as they're going to Vodacom corner. He defends his line. Robbie Peterson's going to try around the outside, and Dreyer, with his heart back in his mouth, is back in third and flying. Russell Woods, number 7, is Sean White just behind. He's having it out there with Graham from Badar. Robbie Peterson in front is clear roads. He's done it on the second last corner. He didn't wait for the last corner. This is it. There's a flag lying ahead. Defends his line. He's good around Castetto corner. And Robbie Peterson, he's been up in first. He's been down to fourth. And he's back in the front with 2 corners to go. He's going to do John Wheeler's waiting. 5.3 of a second. Robbie Peterson wins this race ahead of Stuart McLeod on 6 and Greg Dreyer there on number 2. 4th position. Russell Wood leads that other pack home with Sean White on his tail. There they are across the line. Trevor Crooks, and then it's Graham from Badar on the order page, Cellular Honda. There's the winner, Zimbabwean Robbie Peterson on the Era Cure Honda. And a brand new lap record. He beat Russell Wood's lap record by 0.3 of a second. In fact, the top 3 riders were covered by 1 second at the end. 5 riders lapped under Russell Wood's old lap record. Probably another great win for you, Carl Army boy, and you really did a sensational finish there.
Yeah, Roger, 3 laps to go. I was thinking, I just no way can I win this race. Stuart had it all under control. He was riding so good, his bike looked good. And then, we kind of closed up and dropped back a little bit, closed up. He started making a few mistakes. I was looking over my shoulder to see when number 2, Mal Greg Dreyer, was going to come through. And never materialised, And about 2 laps from then, I started thinking, maybe I can win this, because Stu started riding defensively and taking sort of lines that didn't allow him to come out the turn very good, and basically lined it up from there. But I think the race is probably one of my best wins ever. I'm really chuffed with it, and this team is just incredible. I keep saying how good my bike is, and it's no BS. This is a special motorbike. Steve Cannon is one hell of a guy.
Don't go away. The final race of the season coming up. This is what it's like as you move on to pole position at the Grand Prix circuit at Kyalami. Our cameraman, winner of the first race, Robbie Peterson. There he is in the Aerocure Honda. Alongside him, Stuart McLeod. Then 5 is Graham from Badar. 2 is Greg Dreyer. And 3, the champion-elect is Russell Wood on that Nasher Honda. Lights are going to go off, and we're in business. 10 lap, 42 Ks. More action, and Robbie Peterson wheelies away like a dragster and goes to the front. Once again, it's same again as the order in the first race. Stuart McLeod slots into second, Greg Dreyer on third, and then Russell Woods in fourth. He means to do well this time. Sean White, the green leathers, the ARP Kawasaki, comes from Zimbabwe as well. He's in 5th position and meaning to do well for Quacker in this race. The riders get down behind those bubbles to eke every bit of power and speed out of this machine. They use all the road to the good you sweep. Here comes Russell Wood inside. Number 3, they open the door. There's Greg Dreyer. This is Russell Wood's favourite place for passing. Nothing in acceleration. Gets down behind the bubble of that R6 Yamaha into the Winfield S as he goes. Greg Dreyer's one determined rider right at his tail. Here's Robbie Peterson. This is how we had in the first race as well. Stuart McLeod on number 6. And going round the outside, or is he going to go round the outside, is Russell Wood, 12 times the South African motorcycle champion. Greg Dreyer's won the Superbike title 4 times. And then it's Sean White with Graham from Badar leading that other pack just behind them. Then it's Arushan Mudley. There's Noel Harif in there as well on that Rhino Security Yamaha. Onto the brakes for Vodacom. Special place there for Russell Wood. He goes on the inside of Stuart McLeod, and he's moved to second place. Stuart McLeod loses out once again. He's gone back to 4th. Here's Graham from Badar taking on Sean White. He goes into 5th position. Sean White on 7 alongside him. He tries to sweep him off the road there as he gets onto the brakes there for Yokohama Gang. That's Graham from Badar on the order page. Cellular Honda here, the leaders now. It's Robbie Peterson coming up for that bump, that unsettling bump as they go across it there, down into the Penzol curve. Absolutely flat out. 16 is Peterson, 3 is Wood, 2 is Dreyer, and 6. Brilliant riding here today on those new Dunlop tyres by Stuart McLeod on number 6, the Aztec Suzuki. Oh, they're so busy as they're coming to this corner, down through the box. It's braking, it's cranking, it's getting the right gear, and then it's powering on. These 4 get away from the others. Bit of a wobble as he gets on the curve. Then it's Graham from Badar. Sean White is just behind him on the Kawasaki. This is Russell Wood. He's at his best at the Goodyear corner. As he gets into that corner, he'll line up. He goes to on the inside. They never learn. They open the doors. Robbie Peterson does, and he starts to peel it off as he goes into the corner. And Russell Wood has taken 1.5 laps to get to the front of this competitive field. Listen to those engines rev. Down into the Winfield S as Russell Wood's knee starting to scrape the curb. Here he's going to be a hard man to repass again, but there's a couple of top riders just behind him, and they intend on doing him in. No doubt about it. There's Graham from Badar, 7 is White, 46 is Noel Harif back in racing on that Yamaha. And then we've got a Richard Mudley. He's in that pack there, in behind that bubble and doing very well in 8th position. That four-man pack, the leaders go down the Caltex mine shaft into that sweep, absolutely flatter. They don't dare tap off one little bit. Robbie Peterson 16 in second. Here comes Dreyer. This is his favourite point for passing. He does it, goes wide. Is Robbie going to make a comeback? Russell Wood goes down the curb, he's leading. Robbie's making an effort as he goes into Yokohama, but there's enough time left in this race for him if he's going to get past Greg Dreyer. Look at the acceleration of those motorcycles. They take on any 1,000 or 1,200cc motorcycle that people ride on the road. These are quick 600s, no doubt about it. Cranked over on the limit, the power goes on. They get down behind the bubbles, they get up into 6th gear, and they head down past the start-finish line. Absolutely flat out. The handling is so important down here. You can't afford to tap off for one little second. It's still Wood, and Dreya's starting to make a move. 16 is Robbie Peterson, the Aerocure Honda. He's done so well this year. This is going to, as he sits here now, he'll come second in the championship behind Russell Wood. There's the champion in front. Greg Dreyer just behind him. 6 is Stuart McLeod. This is where the emphasis on this race is at the moment, as they get down and try and get a toe along the old start-finish straight, then head for Goodyear sweep. And then it's Graham from Bedard just behind with Sean White on his tail. There they come. Noel Horace in third in this bunch here. And then Trevor Crooks is just behind Arusha Woodley on number 11. Trent over on the limit. It's just a fraction of a second between all these riders. And Dreyer certainly not going to take on Russell Wood in that corner. That's his favourite part, his best place to pass for Greg Dreyer's up at West Bank corner. But Russell Wood is a hard man to pass. They come out and head down the mine shaft here, absolutely flatter. Dreyer's starting to line him up. Wood knows he's there. He can hear in that bubble. He can hear the sound reflecting in that windscreen of his. Here he goes. This is where Dreyer's good on the brakes. Is he going to take him now? He's going to the inside. He does it! Greg Dreyer's got through in the inside and leads Russell Wood, who's been challenged by Robbie Peterson. This race is far from over. We're on board now with Robbie Peterson, our cameraman. He's got Russell Wood, the previous leader, is now in second position. Look at the acceleration. Nothing between these four makes a motorcycle. We've got Yamahas, we've got Kawasaki, Suzuki, and we've got Hondas, and they're all at full stretch. You just hang on as you turn it on, all that acceleration. Look at the speeds that come past the start-finish area. They're up to about 220 k's an hour and start to crank it over the knees. Down here, only brave people go down here flat out. And over that little bump as they start to go up to the Nashua corner. And Russell Wood, the body language says, Greg, I'm coming to get you. He knows he can pass him just 2 corners from now once they're out of Nashua corner on the limit. The knees are getting hot, those Teflon pads are getting hot. They feed in that power. They can't afford to let it break away one little bit as they go for the Goodyear sweep. And here he comes now. Russell Wood is starting to line him up. Greg Dreyer, the other one is Graham from Bedard, having a great ride with Sean White on his tail on the ARP Kawasaki. Here he goes. Russell Wood does it again, does he? He does. You can't believe it. They let him do it. He comes from way before the corner, peels it off and takes the lead. Wood's back in front. We're with Robbie Peterson. Up the hill now to the Yokohama King. Right on Greg Dreyer's and on his tail, and he knows he can get them all at Gestetner corner. He goes for the inside. He's got the acceleration. He's moving the inside, and Dreyer, this is his favourite part. Maybe a lap too early, but he's back in second. Stuart McLeod is watching this whole show just ahead of him. Look at them just twist that power. They've got a very quick gear change as they go down there over that bump. You can see it upsets the camera bike, as well as Robbie Peterson starts to look for a place to pass Russell Wood. His best place, as we say, is down to Gestetner. He's got to wait a while, but from now on up to West Bank, Russell Wood is so quick. Uses all the road. You can see that precision riding along the old start-finish straight. This is where they used to start right there as they go into the Goodyear Bridge, then into the sweep, and down into the S as they go. It's Russell Wood still with Robbie Peterson and Greg Dreyer. He's coming to his favourite part. They've all got a favourite passing corner on the circuit. Stuart McLeod is still to find his in this race. And is West Bank corner going to be it? He's going for the inside. Dreyer's so quick in the end. McLeod gets it. Oh, that's bravery. He goes in the inside of Greg Dreyer, powers it on. He gets down behind that bubble. Now it's absolutely flat out down this hill. In the front is Russell Wood and Robbie Peterson. He's got a few corners in which to attempt to pass the South African Superbike champion. Here comes McLeod, and here comes Dreyer now. We're on the last lap. Dreyer's going to go through in the inside. He rubs shoulders with him. He's done it again. He's passed him so many times going into the Vodacom bowl, and Greg Dreyer's done it again, that autoplate Shelly Honda. And just to emphasise, he sweeps across his bow. It looks like it's going to be Dreyer third and Stuart McLeod in fourth position. This is the last lap, another corner to go. Here's Robbie Peterson trying to sneak up on Russell Wood. Russell Wood's wide awake there. Last corner braking, he fans the clutch. He gets it sideways, he powers it on, and Russell Wood is going to win the final race of the season. Round number 20 goes to Russell Wood, the champion, on the Nashua Yamaha of Robbie Peterson, Aerocure Honda, and then it's Greg Dreyer on the autopaid Sally Honda with Stuart McLeod, great riding by him on the Aztec Suzuki. What racing in this Nashua South African Superbike Championship. You don't get it much closer than that. The first 4 riders, these champions all, were covered by just 1 second at the flag. Great stuff there. Fastest laps, incredibly, set up by Sean White and Graham from Badar, fighting it out for 5th position. And all 4 makes in the South African Superbike Championship represented there in the results of the final race in the top 6. First of the privateers, Noel Horriff, came home on that Yamaha once again. The first 2 riders in this Nashua Superbike Championship, Russell Wood and Robbie Peterson from Zimbabwe, and a victory wheelie from Russell Wood. So Russell, as the champion, last race of the season, you just wanted to show them.
Oh, I thought I'd take the old glasses off and stick the new ones on. Certainly worked better in that heat. Yeah, you know, there was, with this tyre controversy down in Cape Town, I decided in the first heat to just hang back and get the points and make sure the championship's in the bag. And then in the second heat went flat out, and we made a lot of changes for that heat because I was having a lot of problems with traction. But I just have to thank my team, Dave and Les and all the mechanics, Mark, Nashua, Yamaha, Michelin, Clearway, all the guys, Hillbank, that have put some money in, and we've got the results, and I'm really happy for my sponsors and myself and my team.
But it wasn't without pressure.
Sure, you know, I looked back and I saw Robbie behind on the last lap, and I thought, I don't think he's going to have a go at it because his second place in the championship's at stake. But you never know with the old fox, eh? He's getting as slow as me, so let's see what happens.
A 72-point lead gives Russell Wood the championship, fairly convincing. Robbie Peterson gets into 2nd position thanks to his results here today, and Greg Graham makes his way up to 4th position.